channel. So today's a very exciting day because I have been wanting to reignite my YouTube channel for so long, and I keep finding any reason and every reason not to do it. And every time I try to film a video, I always end up deleting it and not posting because I want it to be so perfect and have this super high quality video. If I keep saying I'm going to do that and only post if it's perfect, I'm never going to post because of course my first video back is not going to be perfect. So I'm going to be posting my first imperfectly perfect YouTube video so that I'm actually starting, because the advice I give to everyone else is you just have to start imperfectly, and you unfortunately can't bypass the beginner phase. As much as I'd love to start as an expert with insanely high quality videos, that's never going to be the case because I've got to learn as I go. Do you know what I mean? So let me be the example, and we're going to figure it out as we go, and I hope you stick around for the journey. Essentially what I kind of want to do with my channel is more like podcast style videos where I'm just talking, because I personally absolutely love watching those videos from other people, and they're also my favorite to film because I love talking. And my favorite content to post on Instagram and TikTok is anything to do with life messages, things that I'm figuring out along the way, lessons to my younger self, perspective, mindset shifts. It's something that I'm obsessed with. It's something that I'm constantly researching. I get a lot of questions about how I have developed myself as a human and how I have made actionable changes and mindset shifts and things like that to make me more confident and basically happier. So if I can share anything that resonates with you, then that's the goal. But regardless, I'm going to have fun on the way, even if no one watches. Today's video is going to be things I'd tell my 20-year-old self at 27, because I'm such a wise old 27-year-old. So if my pugs are snoring, she's so loud, like... So I'm sorry for that noise. Hopefully you guys find it relaxing rather than annoying. Life lesson 1 is if you want to make the wrong decision, ask everyone. This one took me a while to realize, to be honest. And I think I got so far away from my own self, my own ability to listen to my gut, listen to what I actually wanted to do. I got so used to feeling like everyone else knew more than me or was smarter than me or their opinion was more valid than mine, and I just didn't respect my own opinion. I don't think I respected myself, to be honest. And so I would just always assume that my perspectives weren't going to be right for some reason. In doing that, I would always seek validation or approval from other people that my decisions or my opinions were valid or correct or right, which is so silly because just because your opinion is different to someone else's doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means it's yours, and that is okay. How boring would it be if everyone had the same perspective, same views, same opinion as everyone else? That would be so boring. We're not meant to be the same. We all have different life experiences, different interests, different passions, different versions of fun and wrong. Anyway, that took me a while to learn. Trusting your gut is something you need to practice. And I think we're so scared of making the wrong decision that we feel like we need to run it past other people so to make sure that it's right. Squish, wake up. You're too loud, girl. You're too loud. Basically, every time you run your decision past someone else, even to the point of like, what are you guys wearing tonight? What should I wear tonight? Like, do you think this outfit's okay? Are you wearing heels or flats? Like, I'm guilty of that 100%. But I try now to not do that, because if I want to wear something, I should feel confident wearing it. If I feel good in an outfit, you can't be overdressed. Like, do you know what I mean? If you wear something with confidence, even if it's the most basic outfit ever, if you wear it with confidence, no one will question you. It's an energy thing. And the only time it looks like we're out of place or our decision's wrong is when we don't back ourselves. We have that energy of insecurity, being unsure, whatever. Even as small as those little daily decisions. Obviously, there's time and a place to get advice from people who've experienced things or has more knowledge about certain things. That's fine. But like a lot of the time, the only way to get better at listening to your intuition and to your gut is to practice making mistakes and making wrong decisions. Because when you do that, you give yourself feedback. Okay, I didn't like the way this turned out, or, you know, next time I would do this differently. And then you listen to your gut more and more to the point where you get so confident in yourself, in your opinions, in your perspectives, in your decisions, in the way you want to live your life. I just swear that's the key to confidence. Like, if you are so strong in who you are, your values, your morals, and your ability to problem solve and make decisions and adjust, and even just to the point of like knowing that if something goes wrong, or if you do stuff up, or if you do make a mistake, or if you do pick the wrong path in life, you're always okay. Like, everything's figure outable. Like, you can reroute and you can make it better and you can fix it and whatever. Even that alone will give you so much confidence. Like, you don't have to get it right every time, and you're never going to get it right every time. And something else I love to I feel like I'm running up a hill because I'm speaking so much. Something else I love to live my life by is viewing big life decisions as adventures rather than permanent fixtures. Say you got an opportunity to travel overseas for a year. That is scary. Like, you could go there and hate it, and you've just spent a lot of money maybe for a visa or to move all your stuff, or you've, sacrificed friendships, or maybe you're in a relationship and you have to do long distance. It's a big move. What if you get there and you hate it, or it's super scary, or you get really homesick, or whatever? Nothing is permanent. If you go and you hate it, you can always come back. Worst case scenario, you lose a little bit of time, you lose a little bit of money. That stuff is okay, because you would much rather try and have an adventure and take a risk and to potentially have the best time of your life. Who knows who you'll meet over there? Who knows what opportunities could come from that? Who knows the type of person you become from that experience? But you will never know if you sit at home. And I think you should always live your life with the idea that when you're really old and you're bedridden and you're at the end of your life, I guarantee you're going to regret the things that you didn't do rather than things that you did do. You're not going to look back and think, oh, I'm so sad that I tried to live overseas. You'll definitely say, I regret never trying to live overseas. Do you know what I mean? So anything in life, no matter how much research you do, no matter how much you try to make the best decision, you're always probably going to make mistakes and make the wrong decisions at points, because there's so many factors that are just out of our control. So when you view life as these big life decisions, these big life changes are adventures and nothing is permanent, then when it fails, or if you make mistakes, or if it goes right, they're all just stepping stones and feedback, getting you closer to the life you want to live. When you look at everything as an experience, and the goal is to experience life, because there's so much out that we don't even know what we like yet, and all those things that we do that are out of our comfort zone are the only way we get to know more about who we are and what we want from life. And there's things that you might not even think are possible because you've just never been exposed to them, and you haven't unlocked parts of yourself that would want to chase after different things. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm getting onto a massive tangent here, but that's number one. If you want to make the wrong decision, ask everyone. Trust your gut. The only way to feel confident in who you are and what you like and what you don't like and what you believe and what you feel and all that stuff is to practice. Number 2 is admire out loud. Let people know when you think they're cool, when you're excited about the sunset, or when you love something. Enthusiasm is cool. I am the least nonchalant person. I always thought it was cool to be mysterious and nonchalant, but I'm just not that. And I've come to love that about myself, because I love people that are excited about the little things. My favorite thing of the day is my coffee. When the sun comes out, I get so excited. My breakfast gets me out of bed. I love my yoga bowl so much, and I've had the same thing every year for 4 years now. I'm also the first to compliment people. When I see someone with a beautiful nose, or they've got the funniest, cutest laugh, or whatever, I'm the first to tell them. I am so enthusiastic, and I also love when other people are enthusiastic and when people get excited with me and over the little things. I think that is so nice. I just think people are so focused on trying to be cool. If you go to a party, right, the least cool people to me are the ones that think they're too cool to talk to anyone else and are just standing in the corner. I don't think that's cool. I think the coolest person in the room is the one that makes an effort to come and say hi first, invites me on a random adventure and includes me in the group. That is what I think is cool. Someone who is a freaking nice human. Someone else, if you admire something in the world, in a human, in someone's work or someone's idea, tell them. Hype people up. The world has so much negativity, and I just think if you get to be someone who can bring sunshine energy and make other people feel good, it doesn't cost you anything. It will only make you feel better, I guarantee it. So stop being too cool. The new cool and my version of cool is people who are enthusiastic, who admire out loud. Tell people you could make their entire day. They could remember that compliment or the thing you said to them for years to come. So make sure you're being an energy giver, not an energy sapper. And admire out loud. Don't just think of something in your head, especially women. Women are so funny, because a lot of friendships and female relationships are ruined through jealousy and insecurity, and they project that, and they see someone who's beautiful, and instead of complimenting them, or that they tend to go quiet or feel less than about themselves. But if you feel that, it's really saying something about yourself, so take that on board and fix it, because that's an inner thing that you're projecting outwards. And tell the person, that should be your cue. Just because someone else is beautiful doesn't mean you're less beautiful. The sunset is just as beautiful as a flower, and the ocean. They're all so different, but they're all beautiful in their own ways. Number 3, if you're anxious or sad, walk it out or talk it out, but definitely don't sit inside alone about it. I used to, and I still tend to do this sometimes, but if I'm going through something, I will sometimes isolate myself. If you're going through something and you're overthinking, sometimes you just need to get outside. Like, your thoughts are so different outside than they are inside. I guarantee it. Like, for some reason, it's almost like you're claustrophobic inside. I don't know, for me anyway. Whereas if I'm outside in nature, in the sun, with fresh air, I'm around other humans, even if you're not talking to anyone, like, just go to a cafe and get a coffee on your own. Sit outside, play some happy music. Like, if your mind is overthinking, spiraling, not a happy place to be, the worst thing you can do is sit alone inside, scrolling on your phone with your own thoughts. You need to be putting positivity into your ears. You need to switch up your environment. You need to be around happy things that make you happy. Like, you've got to actively choose to help yourself. Walk it out, talk it out. Sometimes just venting to someone who you trust and you feel safe with, and getting the thoughts out of your head into the world makes you feel so much lighter. So that's number 3. Number 4, this one's big. You don't have to abide by the same imaginary rules that they force themselves to live by. Do it your own way. I think I felt like for so long that I wanted to live my life differently to what the standard route was. I didn't like the idea of doing things just for the sake of doing it, because that's what everyone else says you should do, whether that's going to uni and getting a degree, or, you know, getting a 9-to-5 desk job, and like, amazing if that's what you want to do. But I just think like we have all these weird made up societal rules about things, like even with work. Never once have I thought of work with negative connotations. To me, I've always wanted to do a job, and I believe that I can do this, and I have created this for myself, luckily. Never have I ever viewed the word work as a negative thing. Like, to me, work should be fun. It should be something that I'm excited about. It should be something that I'm passionate about. If I'm spending most of my life working, wouldn't I want to enjoy it? You know what I mean? Like, I've never wanted to be someone who lives for the weekends. And I understand that it is such a privileged thing to be able to say. But I do really think it's a mindset thing. And so many of us say work and we shrug. We say, oh, I've got to go to work. Like, I think you should try and have the agency to choose and change and adjust course if you're not happy. And so many of us are so terrified of what our friends, our family, our boss will think if we change course and try something new. What if you've spent your whole life wanting to be, I don't know, a banker, and you get to this job and you're on an amazing salary and you realize you actually are miserable, even though you're earning heaps of money? That's when I think you should genuinely be like, I'm not happy. I'm going to change it. I actually want to be a school teacher, or I actually want to start my own business, or I actually want to do social media. If that's what you want to do, I think that you should get rid of those fake rules and do it. Especially if you're young and you don't have kids yet. I understand there's so many factors that come into play when you have to provide for a family and all these things. And I don't want to sound naive in that sense, because I get it. It's hard and tricky. But I also think you live once, and if you're not happy, like, to me, there's no amount of money that will justify living a life that I hate. Anyway, that's like a bit of a deep one. This is massive as well. If your idea of fun is not drinking and going out every weekend and getting smashed and doing drugs and whatever, and yet your whole friendship group thinks like that, that's okay. You're allowed to have fun having an early night. You're allowed to have fun going on a hike. You're allowed to have fun, you know, doing wholesome activities, painting, this, whatever. Like, you're allowed to have your own idea of fun. So just question anything that you feel in your gut you don't agree with what society tells you, with what your friendship group tells you, whatever, and just realize there are no rules in life. You get to create your own rules, and that's the amazing thing. Number 5, I don't know. Be the first to say hi. We're all a little awkward and shy, so be the brave one. I used to be so scared of this. I would be so terrified to say hi first, but yet if someone said hi first to me, I would respect it so much, and I would think, wow, they're so nice, they're so friendly, and yet I would be so terrified to be the first to say hi. Opposite now, I tend to put myself forward. If I go to an event, which for work I go to a lot of events where I don't really know many people, I try to say hi and meet new people and just jump into the deep end. And the amount of people I've met through being the first to say hi has been so eye-opening, because People are so less scary than you think, and so many of us want human connection, and we're just terrified. Like, a lot of us are so shy and so scared. Every single person is insecure in some way, shape, or form. And often the people you see at social events or whatever, if they're quiet, if they're a bit standoffish, it's probably because they're shy, like genuinely. So I try now to be the first to say hi to people, realize that people are probably awkward and shy, and often if you're the one to crack them and to be really friendly and to be open and to be, ask them questions and whatever, then you'll probably get an amazing and very different response than what you initially expected. Be the first to say hi and you'll probably make a new friend, or at least have a nice conversation with someone. Number 6-ish, stop trying to be like someone else. People actually end up loving you for who you are, and that feels way better. I used to always people please. I would be really quiet and I would be agreeable and I would just say what I thought people wanted to hear, to be liked and to fit in. And I realized I was just not myself. In fact, I didn't even know who I was because I was so out of touch with what I believed in, what my values were, who I was. When you're liked or loved for the person you pretend to be, you will never feel fully loved. Like, love and connection and life can only exist with vulnerability. You can only feel true love when you are loved for your real self. When someone loves your flaws, when someone loves your imperfections, when someone sees you at your worst and still loves you, that's when you feel loved, when you can be your full, unfiltered self. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Yes, you will not be liked by everyone, but there's nothing in this world that you can do, no version of you that you can present that will protect you from being criticized and judged. Like, you're going to be judged either way, and I have people that don't like you either way. So wouldn't you rather be yourself and do the things you actually want to do and be liked for who you are, rather than spending so much energy and time performing and pretending to be someone else and yet still being judged that way? You also weed out the people that aren't right for you a lot quicker. Your relationships are going to last longer because you're going to be surrounded by people you actually enjoy being with and that actually love you. You're going to find your friendship group faster. To be loved for you, flaws and all, is the most amazing feeling ever. So I highly suggest being yourself. And it is scary because being rejected for your real true self is a lot harder to swallow than to be rejected for someone you're not. But the price of authenticity is rejection. Be okay with getting rejected. You don't like everyone, so don't expect everyone to like you. I am obsessed with chocolate, but surprisingly, and there are some weirdos in this world, not everyone likes chocolate. It doesn't mean that chocolate isn't amazing and delicious and beautiful. It just means that some people have different taste, and that's okay. Number 7, I think, sometimes the most productive thing you can do is have more fun. Balance ambition and drive with some presence. For a while, I struggled to do anything that I didn't feel like was productive or progressing me in some way, shape, or form. I wouldn't listen to things unless they were educational. I would feel guilty if I ever, was doing something just to do it. Like, for example, art. I would feel like I'm wasting time just drawing because there's no purpose to it besides being present and actually enjoying the process. Sometimes actually the most productive thing you can do is to have more fun. And now I've realized as well that my most creative brain space and my best ideas when it comes to working and feeling more focused and whatever is to do things that make me feel good. For example, driving and listening to music and singing in the car. I have the best ideas when I'm in that headspace because I feel happy, I feel inspired, I feel energized. Same goes for going for a hike in nature. Like, I feel incredible after that, and I'm not being super productive then. I'm literally just enjoying being present, looking around in nature, like whatever, but it makes me feel good. And same goes for hanging out with my friends and socializing and having like a nice dinner out or a drink here and there. Like, that to me is productive because it makes me feel good, it makes me feel happy, and when I'm happy, I'm inspired. When I'm inspired, I'm more creative, I'm motivated to work, I'm motivated and energized to exercise. Like, all of those things help your ambition. You don't want to live a life that's so focused on the goal and the future and achieving something that you don't actually enjoy the moments along the way, because life is only ever now. And if you waste your life trying to get somewhere that you think is going to make you happy, then you miss out on your life. So yeah, now my focus is on having a good day and doing things that make me feel good, that yes, lead to my goal. The process is the most important part, because your life is always going to be now. The tomorrow that you're wishing for will still be experienced as now, and the amount of things that you've achieved or done or received that you wouldn't even have realized you've received or achieved, because by the time you get there, the bar's raised again. Being able to balance ambition and productivity with a little bit of presence is super important. Be grateful for everything along the way and enjoy the journey. As cringe and cliche that sound, it's true. Like, enjoy the journey, because life is made up of a series of moments. Number 8, only think and speak highly of yourself. No one sees your insecurities, so stop pointing them out, silly. I remember there was a girl in high school who, to me, was the most beautiful, magnetic, like beautiful girl ever, and all the boys loved her. She had this like magnetic energy. If you like broke down all of her features, she wasn't a Victoria's Secret model. Like, she was beautiful, but there was nothing like over the top insane about her appearance, but her energy was insane. Like, she just had this attraction to her, and I envied it. I was like, wow, I wish I was like that. I wish I looked like that. I wish I had that energy. And something I realized was that I never once heard her point out any of her flaws or insecurities. Like, how many of us, when we feel insecure, will say, oh my God, I feel so bloated today. My skin's so bad, or I hate my nose, I hate my hair, I wish that I had this, I wish that whatever. We point out our flaws and insecurities. It's almost like we want to get in first so that we're not embarrassed when people see them. The only thing is, though, people don't see that. People don't see our flaws. People don't see our insecurities. There's people that I had known for years, and years later they would say like, oh, my biggest insecurity is my nose, and I would think, wow, never once have I looked at your nose in a negative light. Like, never once. And yet to think that's your biggest insecurity and something that really consumes your mind is crazy to me. Don't point out your flaws and insecurities, because they're only visible to other people when you point them out. Look at yourself through a rose-colored glasses lens. Try each morning looking in the mirror and finding all the things you love about yourself. Look in the mirror and say, oh my God, my eyes look so bright and big today. My hair looks so shiny. I love my skin. Try and say as many good things about yourself as you can, so you get to a point where you start noticing the good things about yourself first instead of always the bad things, and fake it till you make it. Like, even if you do feel insecure, try your best to not point it out to people, to not comment on it, to not say it out loud, because number 1, does it make you feel good, and number 2, no one sees that until you point it out, you silly Billy. Number, I think 9, travel, book the trip. That is self-explanatory. If you can prioritize traveling, like, you do not have to do it in an expensive way. You can find cheap options, but I would highly suggest traveling. Like, it is life-changing. The world is so big, and it's so easy to get stuck in our little bubble of where we grew up, our immediate circle, or the same people we see all the time, the same streets, whatever. You forget how big and amazing the world is. When you travel, it teaches you so much about yourself. If you can do a trip that is out of your comfort zone, do it. Travel. That's all I'm going to say. Number 10, it's none of your business what other people think about you, but it does matter what you think about yourself. Become someone that you are proud of. We spend so much time putting so much weight into other people's opinions of us, and yet we don't actually know what anyone's thinking about us. We're not worried about what other people think of us. We're worried about what we think other people might think about us. We don't actually know. Only they will know what they think about us. And most of the time, they aren't thinking about us. They're thinking about themselves, the same way that you're thinking about yourself the whole time, because we are all the main characters in our own life. But regardless of what someone else thinks of you, it's none of your business. What is your business is what you think of you. And the only time other people have the power to offend you, the only time you feel offended by things, is when you recognize the insult because you've said it to yourself. And it confirms that fear or that insecurity that you already think about yourself. For example, if you are insecure that you are shy, and someone else points out or says something about you being shy, it's going to hurt because you don't like that about yourself. Say you are sensitive and you get insecure about it, and someone else says like, why are you so sensitive? That's so dramatic. You are going to hear that with a megaphone because it's confirming a belief you have about yourself. However, if you have blonde hair and someone says, yuck, your blue hair is so ugly, that is going to wash off. You're going to laugh in their face because you know that your hair is blonde and not blue. So the only time we really get offended by things is when it's confirmation of something that we've already said to ourselves. Notice what you get offended by. And a really good test of how secure you are as a person is that it takes a lot to offend you. So instead of focusing so much about other people's opinions of you, focus on working out, who do you admire? What qualities in other people do you admire? What things do you want to work on in yourself? And then work on that. Make yourself someone that you respect and you love and you admire. Water your own grass so much that you don't even have the desire to peek over the fence at anyone else's garden. And that's it. That was a big ramble. I feel like I need some water after that because I've been speaking to this microphone for a hot second. But yeah, let me know your favorite quotes or favorite pieces of life advice that have helped you along the years. I love and am a sucker for a good quote and a good piece of life advice. So let me know what you want to see, or if you like this kind of video, what you think I should change or do next. I'm really open to making this channel somewhere that is a really nice place to be, somewhere that's collaborative with you. And again, it's an imperfect start point. It will improve hopefully, but you got to start somewhere. So if you've been thinking about doing something for a while and you haven't started yet, please use this as your sign from the universe and from me to start imperfectly and figure it out as you go. Stay slay. I love you. Have the best day. I hope the sun's out wherever you are, and I'll see you next time. Bye.